Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodities Futures Report for Monday, December 20th, and starting with iron ore here. So one of the main points here, obviously the volume that's come into play through here is diminished to a point. It doesn't look like Chinese are sort of buying it on their own futures exchange at the moment, but it is creeping higher. Prices moving up, volumes diminishing to a point, so that's divergence. The stochastics here, as you can see on the daily chart, is starting to flatline here. So we could go to the next, because as soon as it takes out a previous high, it's going to flatline, you know. So we can go to the weekly here. We can see the weekly just lifting off, but it is moving up rather fast. And what I mean by that is the distance it took to come down here is the distance that has travelled back up is, I don't know, it's not quite halfway yet, is it? But here it hasn't gone, you know, it's not halfway from up the top here, is it? So basically it's moving much faster than the price. So that's also sort of divergence as well. So we've got the volume and we've got these indicators all moving pretty sort of quickly. There's a good case that the move up here is corrective, moving up here. All I have so far is I know that this little structure here is in 5 waves. I have started to pull it apart on the 100 tick chart. Well, we'd already pulled that piece apart before. Just bring some data in here. How much do we need? Okay, so from the low here, we can count 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth. So we've got 5 waves here. So we've always known that. And yeah, so I've started to do a little bit of work past that point. It does look like we've got 5 waves down here. So I'm calling that the A wave, then an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the B wave. So I'm putting the A in front of wave 1 here because of, you don't normally get this type of running correction with wave 2. So it's probably a wave B, but I'll count it in both ways. So I've just started working on this here, and yeah, so more work to do here, but I've always known from the daily chart that we've got really good support. Well, we've got support on the 650, which is a medium level. It's just running within these 2 trend lines here, so it is moving higher. We can expect it to move higher, but I'm just pointing out that it's probably corrective. You know, that's what it's looking like. I can't confirm that yet, but it's always been sort of there on that. But I have to say, coming back to the daily chart here for a moment. Don't need all of that. So you probably don't remember, but from the top up here, this first move down through here is in 3 waves. It's corrective. It's a corrective bullish pattern. So this is not over. This will make new highs above here. It's just a matter of when it does that, you know, and how it does that. So just bringing this back down here. There's a case for an A and a B and a C wave here. I would probably you know, if the market went straight up from that point, I would probably need to put this a degree higher at that stage. So, and I'll just put that there as the A wave at that particular point in time, just to let you know that would need, that's an intermediate degree rather than minor degree. It's not a big issue at this point. But that's kind of where we are. So we do have a nice A, B and C wave down to this point. The problem is that does this become the A wave here and we go up for a B wave here and then we go down for a C wave here, some sort of flat correction would be 3 waves up here and then 5 waves down here and then we go up from that point. Which probably wouldn't surprise me, being in line with some of the resource stocks with all of this. But in the meantime, you know, if we're going up to this point here, well, that's okay too. You know, we're trading, you know, BHP, Rio, Fortescue, those Australian stocks anyway, because I'm from Australia, those things. But yeah, other stocks in your vicinity that are iron ore based. There we go. Okay, so from that we go over to gold here. So I'll just go back out to our bigger picture here for a moment. So our triangle pattern. So wave 3 with an A, B, C, D and E here, and we're looking, each structure's got 3 waves in it, so we're looking for the A wave, the B wave, which is in play now, and then the C wave to the downside. So that said, we're in that B wave. Let's go into the, where were we on the 4-hour chart? So from wave D here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave of B. And then from A, B, C for B, and from B we're going up to C, which will be 5 waves, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what we're looking at. So from that point, then we come down to down here. Now, where do we come down here? I'm not quite sure. You know, all I can do is just count the structure as we go, but expect 1720 to 1700 there, I guess. Now, the other point too is that what happens if we're wrong? Well, that will be pretty simple, because at the moment we're looking, the last time we spoke, we were just in here looking at wave 1 and 2, and then we were looking for wave 3. So it looks like we've got wave 3 and then wave 4 and then wave 5. So once we get these 5 waves there, anything above that, then I would be wrong, and we can be bullish from that point. Okay, so pretty simple. I don't think I haven't looked at the tick chart, and I probably haven't updated. I don't even know if I was on that, so just bear with me a second here. Okay, so where are we here? Let's just get in a bit more. A little bit weird, I'll check it later, but not to worry too much at this point. That needs to go over here, that needs to go up here, that needs to go there somewhere. And if we take this one here, which looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that looks pretty cool. At that point, we can look for 38.2% retracement level. Well, we're way down below that, so that's okay. And we can look at this here as the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, pretty close there. So I'm not going to worry about it today. What we are looking for is this wave 5 here of C here, which if I'm wrong, it will be wave 1 at that point, but otherwise it will be wave B at that point, wave 2 over here. So look, yeah, even if, I mean, I'll sort this out here. I mean, it might even be finished. Still just leaves it too short, doesn't it? I've just got one little wave in here that's not quite right. But anyway, I'll try to sort that out later. But what I want to say is that, or this doesn't matter at the moment, when this wave 4 here finishes, we'll be looking for 5 waves to the upside here. So once that finishes there, then we'll be looking for, well, a bearish move after that. But that said, if we take this, because we have to be prepared if we're wrong. You know, we don't want to be crying over spilt milk. Let's just say that that's the high there for the moment, and then that would leave us down here for this, roughly speaking. I'll just chuck that in there, and then we'll end up having, well, it could be a nice picture, it could be an ugly picture, but if that's the case, it's this B wave as an A and a B and a C wave here for this wave 2 here. And we would go long above this B wave here. That's the point that I would be wrong, and that's the point that we need to be long at that point. And this would be the same for stocks as well, okay? So obviously, you know, stocks would be gold stocks will be rallying at the moment. and that's okay. It's all good. And yeah, but the point being is that let's go back here a little bit to say the 4-hour chart. I mean, if there is a low in place here, then I mean, it's a bit hard to, because the only other way I could push this would be putting the B wave here and the C wave over here for that. But this is rather small compared to this. So it doesn't, there's no sort of equality, no matching on that. So yeah, but you know, I've seen weirder things have happened. So we do need to be careful about things. But yeah, as far as the crow flies, then we need this 5 waves up here to finish, and then we just keep an eye on it at that point. And the move down here, it may only be 60, you know, it may only be, we'd certainly want it to take that low out, but it doesn't have to come way down here or anything, you know. I'm just trying to think if there's any other way that I've made a mistake in all of this. Unless the A wave is over here and this wave 4 belongs over here and so on, then we get an A and a B and a C wave up that way. I'll double check this over here for that a bit later. But yeah, so that's where we are, and we'll be going long above the C wave, or roughly, I mean, above that B wave here that I just mentioned, you know. That's at the point we would go long at. So we'd still need, you know, we still need the market to come down to that point and give us that first high and then go down from that point. That's where we can go long. That's a safe trade at that point. So silver's a bit like stock really, because a lot of stock is just sort of moving off to there. So silver may have a low in it. It may not come down here further, because if it did, it would just be sort of, it would just be a little bit weird, because we would have 1 and 2 and would just have, yeah, it'd just be weird having an extra leg here for this. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not ready to go long here again just yet. We were going long through here, but and we'll try again. But yeah, so in this case, yeah, I won't get into it at the moment. I'll just wait for that. Stock will be the same. I think we should just chill and, you know, not get trapped. So if you do want to go long in gold, then just be a little bit mindful of things. Okay, so I want to have a look at copper. Where's copper? Okay, so we've got wave 3 over here, and we're definitely in some type of sideways correction here, because we're in lots of 3 here. I don't really know how to resolve this here actually, so I won't go into it here just yet, but I'd always figured that it would somehow line up with gold and the US dollar index, and that it wouldn't be ready until until after Christmas sometime. So I think we could, you know, this is the sort of thing you could probably put half a dozen Elliotticians together and they'll all come up with a different structure here for this. So a different way of counting this. So I'm not sure, but I know that it's not ready just yet. It's not like that we have a nice 5, because this is what we'll be looking for, probably a little bit smaller than this, of course, but just to give you an idea, we'd be looking for 5 waves up. Once we get those 5 waves, then we know that the trend has started, and then it will have an ABC pattern at that point, and then push up, and then we can go long at that point. But we don't have that yet. And I think that we may end up just having, you know, a bit more of this going on first before we head off, you know. I don't know. I really don't know about this in here. It's sort of doubling up a little bit. I think we handle it quite well, but we just got more of this to come in here, and I don't know the best way to label it. I haven't pondered it enough. I'm just sort of having a quick look at it, but yeah, not quite ready just yet. Yeah. And natural gas, that's still in the downtrend, obviously. Where are we with natural gas? Yeah, still coming down further for this. This is definitely not finished. We're going to be, you know, the next main level down here is the medium. Oh, well, we've got 3,000 at that point. Yeah, so that's where that's going to come down and bounce to. So, yeah, that's where that is. So we're looking for wave 4 possibly up there, but it looks like it wants to make a move now. That looks like overlapping wave structures in here. So we can bring that down here. We'll get a bounce off this. It'll move down quicker than it moves up. And then there'll be that, and then there'll be this. I mean, even if this was some sort of ABC pattern down here, we'd still need to get down here for this as well. Alrighty, I want to have a look at nickel. So nickel's used in batteries, in lithium batteries, and kitchenware, and building, and steel, stainless steel, armor plating, all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit like copper, really. It's being used in the sort of new green world, so to speak. But anyway, apart from all of that, still looking for it to come down further. It's we don't really have to worry about it too much. We could probably you could probably go long above that high now as well, but keep it small. Do you know what I mean? Just like half a position at that point. I'll leave it up there just for the time being. Let's get a bit more of a visual on this. That's in 3 waves. This move down here is in 3 waves, but I'm considering this being, you know, down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, that kind of thing, and coming down. But obviously there's fantastic support here, so it's going to take a while to get on the other side over here. So nothing to do there. And yeah, if we just keep this out of the way for the moment, if we see a nice, we don't want to get caught out in a spike, you know, for this. And yeah, we just need to wait. There's nothing we can do with it. But it's certainly, you know, this medium level 1500 here is a sticky number, and yeah, it's just doing its thing. But definitely taking that high out would create further upside at that point. But we're not there yet. So, and then we go to the not that one. We go to the DXY US Dollar Index. So yeah, over the last couple of weeks we've been looking at this little wave 4. We're still expecting it to push up there, which it should do. It's just struggling to get into group 2, so 65, 72 and 80. You can see that it's struggling to get in. It hasn't got it as support yet. Once it gets there as support, then we could probably lift this up here, and it will probably not come back out of that group 2 at that point, because all of this consolidation in here will act as a really good support at that particular point in time. So I'm still thinking that this needs to top out here and turn down here before we see a really, you know, good move in those commodities as such. But there's a good case for being bullish. I was looking at this on the weekend as well. So yeah, I mean, coming back up to this point here, I won't talk about it today, but I think we do need to have a bit of a chat about this being, counting this up here more of as an impulse wave. So, yeah, anyway, we'll get to that in due course, but I did have a look at it over the weekend, the bigger picture, and going back over it. I mean, obviously, if the 100 becomes the support, then it will move higher at that point. And because the US are likely to move interest rates up before anybody else, well, then that's very attractive to that product, isn't it? You know. And plus the tether being I don't know how much that impacts on things, but the crypto market, the tether, I don't know if they're actually buying. I don't know if Tethers is actually buying US dollars. They would have some, but I think they're probably also probably cut corners and go to the bond market or something like that, or some other sort of leveraged paper money or something or other. I don't know. Not really sure about them. I know that Binance is, in cahoots with Tether to a lot. They're the two bigger players in that side of things, so they'll be communicating a lot, and God knows what they're doing. Binance is not regulated. They don't even have a home yet, so Singapore's kicked them out. I don't know where they'll go to next, but anyway, that's another story. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.